Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Shoot Some Shale for our watch along of tonight's BSN Series Semi Final between the Redcar Bears and the Glasgow Tigers. Tigers 2 points up on aggregate. Before we kick off proceedings properly, for anybody that watched our watch along to Red. Right, we'll try it again. Take 3. For anybody that watched us on Friday, we would like to start this stream by issuing an apology for the language that occurred during Friday's watch along. Seeing a friend get deliberately, Dan, get your words out right, wiped out in that manner was very frustrating for us, but we still should have kept it together in a more professional manner. Although this is our own space where we could share our opinions here freely, we understand that some of the language may have offended some people, and we will do our best to ensure that this does not happen again. Thank you, Dan and Dylan. Yeah.
What you said, yeah.
Well, but yeah, I think it's one of them, innit? It's a heat of the moment thing, and it happens. But you know, we've moved on now. We're about 43 hours since that incident, and I think we're a little bit calmer now, aren't we?
Well, I'm not. I've nearly ate all my sweeties that I'd saved for the meeting. Oh. Oh dear.
Bears TV.
Should we have a look at the two teams?
Go on then.
Away you go.
Just sorting our stream out. Hopefully it works, but I'm not doing any of the mystic things that people do because I don't believe in it. What team do you want me to go?
Do you want to do the Ouijas?
Alright, and I'll do the Ouijas then. So for the Ouijas at number 1, his Weight Watchers' greatest son, that's Chris Harris. At number 2, Vilad's Nigel. At number 3, Dan Thompson. Number 4, Leon Flint. At number 5, Kyle Howarth. At number 6, Max Perry. And at number 7, Freddie Hodder. Have you got a man to watch and why?
I'm going to go with Leon Flint. He was here literally 48 hours ago when he was guesting for Redcar against Poole, and although he had a slow start, he definitely put up the pace as the meeting progressed and looked really quick. And you know, I know the track won't be the same, it's a bit earlier and conditions are a little bit different, but he's had a practice essentially.
Basically, and to be fair, I've gone for Kyle Howarth. Kyle's obviously disappointed to have missed out on the Premiership Grand Final with Leicester over the last week, but he's been one of the more consistent riders, especially at this championship level, and he's not afraid to get his elbows out when he has to.
You are right. Yeah, you're right. For the Redcar Agelia Bears, they're led at number 1 by Charles Wright. Jake Mulford rides at number 2. Jason Edwards goes at 3. Jake Allen again guests at number 4. Danny King goes at 5. Jody Scott returns to the side at number 6 after successfully coming through the British Under-19 meeting at Workington yesterday, where he finished 2nd.
Yeah.
And Ace Piper, the outgoing British Under-19 champion, rides at number 7. You got a man to watch for the Bears, Mush?
I have, and I've got a gut feeling your man to watch might be the same as my man to watch. And that man is Jody Scott. You know, Redcar has massively missed his scoring. You know, around the Echo Arena, he's normally good for between 7 to 10 points a meeting, and they just haven't been getting that with the guests that they've had in this place. I think, like I said to you before we come on air, Jody raced on Friday, Redcar might have won the meeting. Who knows? But I do think Jake Allen's contribution tonight as well will be key for the Bears as he's carrying on his apprenticeship for the Middlesbrough side as well.
We do have the result of the coin toss that's taken place at Redcar. Glasgow won it, and Chris Harris has opted to go for Gates in Heat 15, and Redcar have taken 2 and 4 in Heat 1.
Ouch.
And is this one of those tracks where the outside gate does go off drastically as the meeting goes on? You obviously go down more than I do.
To be fair, it's not really one of them where it goes down over the meeting. But to start off with, it is usually advantageous to have the outside gates in your opening heats.
And Redcar need to start well, don't they? They're 2 points down. They are close enough with a decent opening heat that can be back on level terms by Heat 2, but they do need a heat advantage of some kind in the opener to get things on level terms, and then it's all to go for.
Massively.
So I can understand why they've gone for the better gate for the opening race.
Massive shift needed by Gavin Parr and his lads. I'm just going to change connection because the stream's doing my head in.
Hopefully one of them will be clear as day.
The worst bit is, it was the same people doing yesterday's stream and it worked absolutely fine.
This one's miles clearer though. On my side it is, I don't know about yours, but it's not pixelated like the other one was.
I mean, I could see the fat lad standing right by the tapes in full clear HD, taking up virtually half of the screen, so yeah.
That'll be me in that Redcar hoodie in a few weeks' time going to Asda's.
To be honest with you, Bush, that Redcar hoodie you're having will probably look like a dress on you. It looks like a dress on me. And I normally go for that size of clothing for a bit baggy stuff, but that's more like I'd raided the bloody the women's section in Asda's.
Oh, I hope not, because that means I've got a snuddy right and it's massive on me. And the better half decides that she wants it, and I ain't wore this snuddy for about a year at this point. My nice oversized snuddy is no longer mine.
Well, you'll have a new one that's just plastered in Redcar Bears Speedway all over it.
Yeah. Pressure on Charles Wright here. I didn't watch the playoff meeting against Paul, but certainly the Knockout Cup one on Friday, he started really, really slow. He was crap in Heat 1, weren't he? And if your number one's not going out and winning Heat 1. And then he got excluded, obviously.
Trust me, I know all about your number one not winning Heat 1. Hello, Steve Worrell.
Honestly, so do I. Went to Tobias Mischleck was at number 1 for Brum this year. So I feel your pain. We got nine people watching. If you are watching us, get in the comments, say hello, tell us your predictions. Just let us know you're here. All we see at the moment is just 9 people watching on the screen, so a little bit of interaction goes a long way. And this has got to be one of the most British teams I've seen in the British Championship for a long time.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? You know, imagine only having one foreigner in your team. That's
and he's a guest. I know he's coming in for Eric Gris, but who's also not British.
Who's another foreigner.
Yeah, but you know, 6 of your 7 riders are British, and they've been there pretty much all season. You know, Jody Scott was an early season signing, but he replaced a British rider, so.
And that British rider's also in my SC UK team.
Yeah.
Talking about British teams, this is almost identical.
This is almost identical, yeah. It's just these have got their foreign rider at number 2, and I must say I'm shocked because he's bloody turned up. He's missed more meetings for Glasgow than he's raced, but he's here tonight.
He's missed more meetings for Glasgow than what Vinnie Ford's missed for the Steelers.
And then today he went and guested in the National League as well. The swings and roundabouts of Speedway.
British Speedway.
You just
but yeah, if you're listening, get yourselves in the comments, give us your predictions, tell us what you had for your tea. I had cottage pie and roast tatties. It was lovely.
Ooh. Any peas on that?
Well, with peas and carrots.
That's the way. We've got a new name in the comments. Mark Dale says, "Hi guys, I'm a Pirates fan, but I think Redcar will win by 10 points."
Ooh.
We're both in agreement with this, I think, Palmer, that Redcar's reserves are better than Glasgow's reserves, but overall, top 5 strength, we give the advantage to the Pirates, to the Tigers. I'm so used to seeing Redcar. I'm so used to seeing Redcar versus Poole at this point.
Hey, we might see it one more time yet for all we know.
I was just going to say, the winner of this does face Poole. I don't think 10 points is too unrealistic.
Oh, I don't know, because the only thing that Redcar's got going for them is this lot have ridden as a team a lot more than what Glasgow has done in recent times.
You've got a point, yeah. But they are coming into this meeting off back-to-back home defeats, albeit against Poole, who arguably ride this place as well as Redcar.
100%. Redcar's going to be massively fired up for this. This is literally shit or bust for Redcar. They don't win this, the season's over. Whereas the Tigers, you know, where are their priorities? Are their priorities on this meeting? Are their priorities on just getting through this meeting safe before the big big league final next week?
I mean, you're going to choose the league final over the BSN Series Cup, ain't you? But which one do I think they've got more chance of winning? This meeting or Wednesday? I'd say this meeting. I don't think Glasgow win it at Poole on Wednesday. I'm glad Poole are in the final, because it means we get at least another watch along as well, because it'll be a Wednesday, more than likely.
Ironically, that's this Wednesday coming.
That's the playoff final, isn't it? But if the
BSN Series Poole are already through.
Yeah, but there'll be a final, won't there?
Considering this is a semi-final, I kind of hope so.
And if Poole are already there, that means we should get another Wednesday.
Looking at this, it looks like it's the Bears that are off 2 and 4.
Yeah. Redcar took 2 and 4 with Bomber choosing 15.
Very smart, Charles. Right, never thought I'd say that in my life.
The lineup for heat number 1 then going off the inside gate in yellow, Villard Nagal, gate 2 in blue, Jake Mulford, who was a hero in the opening heat on Friday with Charles Wright excluded. Chris Harris goes off gate 3 in white, and Charles Wright goes off the outside in red. Really important for the Bears to make a good start here, Palmer. Kane says, Glasgow by 4, many apologies.
Well, it's all going to wind out over the next 15 heats. We're nearly at heat number 1 of them 15. So
Mark has quickly as well said, do you think Poole will do the treble? I think there's every chance.
I'd be very surprised if I didn't, to be honest.
I think out of Poole and Glasgow, I think as an overall team, Poole are stronger.
So the Star Marshal walks away for the opening heat then of the night, and away we go. It's a very good start there for Jake Mulford, who gets that first turn first, and it is Chris Harris and Villads Nigel that are in second and third with Charles Wright now astonishingly at the back at this point. Jake Mulford been the 8-1 hero yet again, and now Charles Wright underneath Chris Harris here, and now Harris back underneath Charles Wright. This is quality stuff here in heat number 1. Jake Mulford's checked out away and gone, and now Villads Nigel's looking out to see where Chris Harris is, to see if the Bears could keep their 2-point advantage intact. But this is a stunning ride so far from Jake Mulford, and Charles Wright is very, very close here to Chris Harris. One mistake from Harris and Wright, he will be through. And as we enter the final lap then of heat number 1, Jake Mulford and Villads Nigel's virtually just gone and checked out. The big battle is at the back, and it's a surprise to see riders like Charles Wright and Chris Harris towards the rear of the field. But Jake Mulford, what a stunning ride from the young Britishman to take the win in heat number 1.
Chris Harris knew what he needed to do there. He literally went straight across Charles Wright's line, who actually dropped the clutch perfectly. Jake Mulford was away and gone, and initially Charles Wright was there as well, but Chris Harris straight across the front of him, and he knew that a shared heat there and Redcar couldn't draw it level. But again, I'll say it, Redcar's number 1 is not delivering in the opening heat when he needs to.
No. I don't know what's gone wrong with Charles Wright. He started the season decent and he's just kind of just gone downhill.
Result of Heat 1 was a win for the rider in blue, Jake Mulford, second in yellow, Lads Nagao, and third in white, Chris Harris. Points divided 3 apiece. Glasgow retained their 2-point aggregate lead, but I've got to say, I do fear that may at least go level in this next one, because for me, the Redcar reserves, especially with Jody Scott and Ace Piper in some really good form at the moment, are better than Max Perry and Freddie Hodder on paper.
I agree with you. The big question is, how fit is Ace Piper? Obviously, we watched him ride yesterday and we saw and heard what his mum said. And when his mum said he'd been in agonising pain all day from the crash on Friday, it's like, yeah, it's it hit home a little bit. So hopefully Ace has had a decent chance to have a good rest and he's feeling fitter to take his place today.
And good news with Jody Scott able to come through that meeting yesterday. And he did have a bit of an off yesterday. He was collected by Harry Fletcher in one of them, but he did manage to get up and he was fine and raced himself into second place. Bears hit top form earlier in the season. Weaknesses being exposed recently, unfortunately. It's pretty much a carbon copy of Leicester in the Premiership, isn't it?
Exactly.
They hit form too early and then they were exposed in the final.
Almost like Scunny last year as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's hit decent form all season round and it goes crumbling at the end. Jody Scott waving to the referee. Referee says, "Hiya pal, how are you doing, mush?"
Or we could have been asking for the green light to be shone. Who knows?
Who knows?
Not all start marshals do this, do they? But it is a thing I've noticed at Redcar. I noticed it at Workington yesterday. I think they do it at Scunny as well. I don't know where the start marshal for the opening race for every rider will show the rider where the green light is. But there's no rule that states you have to, but most of them will do that.
At Scunny, they only show the green light if they wave their hand.
Ah, okay. Big race in the context of the tie, this.
The start marshal walks away for heat number 2. The riders look at the magnets. Tapes rise. Away we go. What a start there from Jody Scott. As Jody Scott hits that front with Max Perry there in second. Ace Piper blasting round the outside of the lot there. And Max Perry, Jody Scott comes back round. And it's currently a 4-2 situation to the Bears, which would level it up on aggregate at the minute. Although Freddie Hodder now looking to come underneath Ace Piper. Ace Piper says, "You're not coming through me, pal." And now Jody Scott leaves a big gap there. Max Perry not able to take advantage. This will level a tie on aggregate, and then it's absolutely anybody's game as we enter the third lap. Jody Scott not showing any form of concussions or anything like that. You wouldn't have thought he'd left the place, to be honest. He's riding a very stylish ride here out in front. Ace Piper settled now in the third place position, and Freddie Hodder's been a little bit crap, let's be honest, as we enter the final race now. And Jody Scott, absolute fantastic out in front. And Max Perry riding a very solid ride there in second as well. And that's it. The tie's level. Oh, and the red flags are out.
As Freddie Hodder fell. I remember the last time when Glasgow... Yeah, it looks like he's hurt himself as well. I remember the last time Glasgow were here and it was Max Perry that stepped up. Because the thing we've seen with Glasgow this year, and we haven't watched them a lot, but when we have, either one or the other reserve steps up. You can't get them both firing on the same night. They've just not been able to do that.
No. And to be fair, when this Glasgow team was announced, I think we both said, their reserves will be the ones that end up costing them in the long run.
Yeah, we did it. It's the risky take with going top heavy like Glasgow have, isn't it? The result of Heat 2 was a win for the rider in red, Jody Scott, second in white, Max Perry, and third in blue, Ace Piper. Freddie Hodder fell and will have been disqualified for falling as well. 7 points to 5 on the night. There isn't an aggregate score on here, but we're back level.
51 all.
Yeah, we're back level now, and it's 13 heats to slug it out and see who's going through 14 if we get to a super heat.
I do hope it's Redcar. It means I get to go to one more meeting this year. At least.
A lot of pressure in this next race because we watched the Knockout Cup meeting. Jake Allen guested in at Poole and he wasn't good. But to be fair, there's 3 and 4 pairing against Poole in the last couple of meetings haven't been good. So there is pressure.
I don't get why. I still, like nearly a week on, don't get why Redcar booked Jake to do the Knockout Cup final away at Poole. He's never gone well at Poole.
It would have, for me, it would have made more sense to have tried to have got Flinty there as well. Much like Freddie Hodder is there this Wednesday.
Exactly, it's a bit of paid practice for a rider that ideally could have done with it. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, because Glasgow as a team
but
haven't been on the bikes together for a little while now, have they?
no. But yeah, but Jake Allen can be absolutely phenomenal around this.
Oh, he's good around
Echo
here.
Arena.
Yeah, he's very good around here.
And I'll be honest with you, I would not be surprised to see Jake as a bear next season.
No, I wouldn't either. It looks like we're going to take a little bit of an interval, early track grade, whilst the paramedics check on Freddie Hodder and get him back into the pits. Tapes are up. They weren't going up on their own. Just a little pull. Bit of brute force, that'll do you. 24 people were listening to us, Palmer.
God's sake, Freddie, why'd you have to fall off, Bush?
24 whole people listening to us. I think he's up. That kid's clapping, unless he's just clapping the tapes being moved out of the way.
That or he's just having a little clap to the music.
Yeah. Right, we've got an idea for when our next podcast's going to be. Palmer, do you want to elaborate on that while we're here?
So, episode 2 of the Tapes to Flag podcast, which will be streamed live on this YouTube channel, will be, I think we said Thursday, wasn't it?
Thursday, around about 7:15-ish.
Ish being the key word.
Yeah.
Where we've got plenty of topics to discuss, because I can't remember what there was off the top of my head. But
we'll obviously discuss in depth the Premiership final, the winners. We'll have an idea of what the Championship Grand Final second leg's going to look like as well. So there is plenty to discuss, and there will be an episode at some point coming out that may be a little bit controversial, but it's our place to give our own opinions, isn't it? So I love this little tractor. It's like something you'd find in a box of cereal.
Oh, it's Ace, isn't it?
No, it's tractor.
But Ace's tractor. But yeah,
this one ain't much bigger.
But yeah, that's credit to the Redcar track staff. They always know how to put on a good track, and I don't think I've ever seen a bad meeting from Redcar, whether I've been there with Scunny or just been there as the neutral Redcar supporter that played today.
I have seen a bad meeting from here. That Middlesbrough Tigers one, the early one, when the track was bone dry because the youth had gone before it and the track was awful.
Oh, the triple header.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that one wasn't brilliant, was it? Other than that one, I don't think we've seen a bad meeting from there.
Do you want to wait until Thursday to discuss yesterday's Under-19 Championship, or should we have a little chinwag about it now?
We've got time, let's have a little chinwag about it.
Well, the winner was somebody you know very well.
Because, let's be honest, by Thursday, I'll have forgotten Scuddy's won their only bit of silverware this season. Get in. Albeit on an individual level. A fun fact for you, the last 2 British Under-19 champions have ridden for Scunny in that year. So,
have they? When did Ace ride for Scunny? Steelers?
He rode for Scunny National League last year, yeah. Ace and Steam.
Crikey, I'd forgot that. Scunny doing
but yeah.
things.
It doesn't happen often. But yeah, I thought it was a decent enough little meeting, to be fair. I did feel quite not heartbroken, but, I felt a bit sad for Vinny Ford. He was clearly winning the race that would have won him the title, and then his engine seized, and Spinny Vinny did Spinny Vinny things and ended up on his bum, and that cost him the title. I mean, ultimately, it is 5th ride.
He did, yeah. but he will have more opportunities at that. He put it behind him today with a couple of decent scores, guesting rode for the Steelers first and then guested for the Edinburgh Academy, both at Bellevue.
Whoa. Vinny doesn't turn up for the Steelers.
He did today, much like Bellevue. That's hard though, isn't it, to have yesterday happen and then have to try and put it behind you, crack on and just go again today for 2 meetings.
Yeah, that's a bit tough, that, isn't it? But
so would you rather, right, if you were in that position, would you rather fall when you're in prime position for the title, or would you rather be crap and get nothing?
I mean, people only really remember the winners of that meeting, don't they?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not the winner, you may as well just got an Audi.
Yeah.
No, but nobody's going to remember it in 2 weeks to come,
and
or maybe longer if you've got a better memory.
He'd just done the hard job as well, hadn't he? Ben Trigger had packed up, who was leading the race. Finney Ford had got to the front, and then it just went kaput. And to be fair, Ace and Steen both did really well to avoid him.
Oh yeah, because that ended up being the Piper Battle Royal.
The Piper practice, which Steen came out on top of.
Steen robbing Ace of his potential podium place.
And Ace was not happy, was he? he was a bit animated after the race, weren't he? But
that could have been a fun journey home.
I saw a comment on Ace's page earlier on this morning when I was having a nosy, and it said he's Steen going to be riding at number 7 for the Bears tonight now, based off of that.
I'd saw that as well, to be fair.
Oh, you've got to have fun with it, haven't you?
To be fair, knowing Gavin Parr, there's every chance that could have happened.
How are you as a rider now? If you've warmed up, you've got ready, there's been a 10-minute delay because of an accident. I know they probably won't have a track ride after 4 now, but you know, how do you refocus? 1 minute you're ready to come out, the next you're not. Here's an interesting comment that I think you'll agree with. Kenneth Dolan says, or Dolan, apologies. Kenneth Dolan says, think the Bears could have been more successful if Eric had not withdrawn from half the season, but it is what it is. I think you're right.
I can't disagree with that, but ultimately, if you're starting to go blind, the last thing you need to be doing is riding a dangerous motorcycle that doesn't have brakes in it. So
yeah, it's one of them, innit? But he was having a good season. Heat number 3's at the tapes. Gate 1 in white, Dan Thompson, who's had a decent season himself. Gate 2 in blue, Jake Allen, who guests for Eric Riss tonight. Gate 3 in yellow, Leon Flint, who guested for Redcar on Friday. Gate 4 in red, Jason Edwards, who struggled a little bit Friday. And last Sunday, to be fair, as well. And Wednesday, to be fair, as well. So
Thursday, while we're at it.
And Thursday. It was good on Monday at Leicester, though. So he'll be hoping to have a much better night. It's either he's gating well and going backwards, or he's not gating but has speed. He just hasn't seemed to have been able to have put it together the last couple of meetings, has he? So from a Bears point of view, hopefully he manages to do that tonight. And if this 3 and 4 partnership fire against this 3 and 4 of Glasgow, that's going to be half the battle won, because these are 2 very capable riders for the Tigers.
Massively. I mean, Dan Thompson's arguably at the season of his life. I mean, what did he get? About 23 points in the SON2 last week. You know, he's doing all right. Startmaster walks away for heat number 3. The riders look at the magnets, tapes fly up, away we go. Dan Thompson's got to that first. Leon Flint's virtually joined him. Jake Allen, though, hogging the inside line, and Leon Flint's just stormed round him, and it is the Glasgow Tigers on a 5-1. And as you said, the 3 and 4 partnership is vital, and they're not producing the goods here for the Bears. Jake Allen now blasted himself around the outside here. Can he do Dan Thompson? He's done him. Beautiful move there from Jake. Now what could Dan Thompson do? Could Dan repay that compliment or not? Jason Edwards is miles at the back, and this is very, very disappointing from a rider that's in his 3rd season on the bounce here. The big battle, though, is for 2nd and 3rd, with Jake Allen just about leading Dan Thompson At the moment, as we enter the final lap, Leon Flint's checked out away and he's gone, and Leon Flint always rides this place very, very well. Jake now pretty much looks settled there in second position as we come round the final two turns then, and it's going to be a win for Leon Flint. The Tigers regain their 2-point aggregate lead.
Now, for me, I said this to you before we started, if Jody Scott had been here for Friday, I think Jason Edwards only gets 3 rides. Jody Scott is here tonight and he is riding well. Both reserves are in form, and Jason Edwards, I think, is not guaranteed 4 rides if he's riding like that tonight again.
Absolutely not.
He's got to be a concern for Gavin Parr. There's no polite way to put it. He has to be a concern.
Oh, it'd be a concern in any team. Do you reckon maybe the pressure has got to him this week because he's had a long week of racing, and it's not just been like league meetings and stuff. It's been all playoff meetings and cup finals and stuff that he maybe isn't necessarily used to riding in, and all the pressure's just getting to him, and he's just kind of crumbling.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem himself at the moment, does he? Heat number 3 was won by the rider in yellow, Leon Flint. Second in blue was Jake Allen, and third in white was Dan Thompson. That was a 2-4 swing in Glasgow's favour, and Glasgow just opened up a narrow lead again on the aggregate score. The rider in white here, Kyle Eworth, across the 2 legs for Leicester in the Premiership meeting was really, really poor. But as you said earlier on, he's had a very good season for Glasgow.
He has. And again, like I said at the start of the show, he's not afraid to give his elbows if he needs to as well. He's a rider that you'd want to be riding with rather than against.
He's, yeah. Heat number 4, gate 1 in yellow, Max Perry. I think that's a reserve switch with Max Perry replacing Freddie Hodder. Gate 2 in blue is Ace Piper. Gate 3 in white, Kyle Howarth, and gate 4 in red, Danny King. Kyle Howarth and Danny King did battle on last week for the Premiership tie, which Danny King's Ipswich Witches came out on top. Let's see if Danny can do the business again tonight. But as you say, Kyle Howarth has got a ruthless edge to him, hasn't he? That heave-ho on Jason Doyle where Kyle claims he didn't touch him. I mean, you've got to persist your innocence, ain't you? But Stevie Wonder could see that Kyle touched him.
Oh, 100%. Anyway, heat number 4, then the tapes fly up away. We've got Ace Piper's got to that first turn first, and that was a stunning start from Ace Piper. Now, what could Kyle Howarth do? Don't know, because the stream's got off, and Kyle Howarth has got round Ace Piper now, and so it's currently Kyle leading with Ace Piper not afraid to give it to Kyle. To be fair here, Kyle going round the outside, Ace to the inside. Ace still riding a little bit conservatively, though. He's clearly not 100% fit, but he's giving it a big go. He wants another go at the Pool Pirates as we enter lap number 3, and Kyle Howarth isn't having this all as easy as he was kind of hoping for, but Danny King settled in 3rd place, by the way, and Max Perry's at the back if you're wondering, as we enter the last lap now, and Ace has got some speed on him as well. To be fair, it's not all plain sailing for Kyle Howarth, who would not expect someone like Ace Piper to be on his tail all race, but a stunning ride there from Kyle Howarth, and a very good 2nd place there for Ace Piper.
Really good ride from Kyle to get round him. Ace gave him a good battle. There's an acknowledgement between the two on the second bend after the race. Danny King just sat in to make sure no attacks came from Ace, but I think he did the right thing. Ace was the quicker of the 2 bears there, and he's notable for gating. He made a perfect gate. Kyle Howarth just rode a brilliant 2nd turn to exit down the back straight. Heat number 4 was won by the rider in white, Kyle Howarth. 2nd in blue, Ace Piper, and 3rd in red, Danny King. Points divided 3 apiece, and Glasgow retained that 2-point aggregate lead.
That they do. It's close, this.
Ace is a strange one, isn't he? Because he notoriously struggles in the opening heat, the easier heat, dare we say, for the reserves of Heat 2. And Heat 4, in recent times, is almost made his own.
It has.
Why are we having a track raid? Now, you've only just had one.
But yeah, Ace he is a weird one. He does tend to struggle. in his opening ride. I don't know if it's the setups or anything like that, what goes on behind the scenes, but yeah, he struggles with his first one, and then he tends to be fine for the rest of the meeting. Although I'm not gonna lie, looking at the race card, I fear for the Bears in Heat 5.
Is it that 3 and 4 versus the 1 and 2 of Glasgow?
It is.
Yeah. Possibly. What gates are what gates are Glasgow on in Heat 5?
I'll have a butchers on
you
the internet. I don't do gates on my
you ain't
program.
got the hang on, I've got it. Glasgow, Redcar on 1 and 3, which are the favoured gates at the moment, and Chris Harris is off the unfavoured gate 4 that's not won a race yet. Gate 3 has got 2 wins.
If Jake can make a good gate like he's doing in this replay we've got on, then I think he'll be alright.
And I don't want to hammer this point home, but the replay we're watching now, Jason Edwards is at the back as well. This isn't us hating on him. This is just being brutally honest. He's struggling, isn't he, this season towards the end?
I mean, you know, you and I, we've both got a lot of time for Jason. He's probably the nicest bloke in Speedway.
Always smiling, always up for a laugh.
You know, I mean, each time Redcar's been at Scunny or I've been at Redcar this year, and I've been able to get in the pits, or when he's been walking to the bar for after meeting chaps, he's always come up, shook his hand, and we've just had a little bit of a chin wag. So he's a genuinely good guy. But yeah, he's especially the last sort of month, he's not been his usual self.
He has seemed a little bit off on the bike. He scores for Ipswich for the same as well. It's, I don't know, it's the lack of form for Redcar, because he's in a heat leader position effectively at Redcar, obviously. Notoriously, you 1, 3 and 5 for your heat leader positions. Some teams will put their third heat leader at number 4, but it's a difficult position to ride at number 3 and 4, especially against a powerhouse pairing like Paul have, like Glasgow have. But you know, he just didn't look his normal self for Ipswich either, and that was at Rising Star level.
No, he's one of them. Is he? Again, as I mentioned earlier, is he feeling the pressure? Is he riding too much? You know, is he starting to feel a little bit of exhaustion? I mean, over the last 7 days, he rode Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Because I don't think he rode yesterday, unless he rode in the French League. Then maybe, I don't know, but in the last 7 days, he's rode at least 5 meetings.
Yeah, you are right, and he's a nice guy, so hopefully he gets it going, and Redcar fans, Gavin Parr and everybody else will be hoping he gets it going. I'm sure you will, as your perfectly neutral Redcar supporter.
Well, I mean, obviously I do work at Scuddy, but Jamie Swells, the Redcar promoter, was my uncle's godson. So I've got all the time in the world for Jamie. He's a really good guy and a very good promoter as well. So if I've got the opportunity to go up to Redcar, I'm not going to say no to it, you know. And for me, Redcar's the best racetrack in the country when it's prepared right.
It's up there. I think Workington's up there as well. It started slowly yesterday, but even for the under-19 meeting, we did have some really good racing come the end of it. I think Redcar and Workington are probably the 2 best championship tracks in the country. Everyone loves Bellevue, and you know what you're going to get there, but I think I really like Redcar and Workington. To be honest, I ain't seen a bad meeting at Scunny when I've been, although I ain't been a lot. Every time I've been, I've seen a decent enough meeting as well there. So
there are some good tracks, and just to say it, I know we're not massively keen on Glasgow, but
it's a good track.
Glasgow's track can produce the goods as well. So there's not many bad tracks about, to be honest. They can all be good on the day.
But I don't just think big tracks are the way to go, because it's about preparation, isn't it? Because obviously, you know, I went to Wolves for 10 years and I saw some really good meetings at Wolves as well, and that was a tight track. I have seen decent meetings at Poole, not very often, you know, that you usually know what you're going to get, but I think the decent meetings at Poole is usually more surrounding the Poole team being built. You know what you're going to get with Poole, don't you? Especially Lawson.
I mean, as well, we've watched not very many of them, but we've watched some decent meetings from Plymouth,
Yeah, we have, yeah.
and
Usually the
that is,
Centurions, let's be honest, but we have
yeah.
seen some good meetings.
But yeah. So tracks can be decent if they're prepared right.
Kenneth says even when Jason was scoring well, he was always having a slow start in his first heat. Hope he improves during this meeting.
Hopefully, I mean, a lot of riders do tend to start slow. Charles Wright, Jason Edwards, Danny King, Ace Piper, but we'll
Sometimes
soon see.
sometimes a rider needs to get a feel for it, because you obviously can't have, you can have practice start and you get your parade laps, but you can't really go full pelt, can you? So your first lap is your first chance to go full pelt around the track and see where grip is and where you can run and where you can't run, where's slick, where's grip, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
you almost have to take that first race to wake up and get to grips with the circuit. Obviously every rider wishes they could just rock up and be sublime from the first one, but it's all about how quickly you adapt to the track, isn't it?
100%. And yeah, we're getting ready for Heat 5, and currently we're even Stevens on the night.
And to be fair, the track now is not going to be the same as it was in July. You know, cold weather's here. It's really difficult to keep moisture in a track at this time of year. What are we now? Nearly in the middle of October. It's colder nights, so you can't water it as much, so it won't make as much grip or anything like that. It's a completely different challenge to racing it in the height of summer.
It really is. And I believe didn't Glasgow win here in July, August, whenever it was. You and Alan did a watch along to it.
I think Redcar won that meeting. I'm sure Redcar won it by a couple of points. I'm going to check.
The butchers.
Sure Redcar won it by a couple.
You and me both.
Oh no, Glasgow won it by 6. That was with Max Perry being the better scorer of the reserves.
Again.
But Villads Nagal got 11 paid 13 on that night. Bomber got 14 paid 17. Flinty
Jason
got
Edwards
12.
got 10 and 1.
Jason Edwards got 10 and 1. Charles Wright got 12 and 1. Danny King got 9. And Ace got 7.
And they didn't have a 7-man team either that night.
That was RR for Dan Thompson, weren't it? Who was a good... for Eric, that was that both teams were weakened because there was no Dan Thompson either for Glasgow. It was RR, and I don't think RR got what Dan Thompson would have either. The reason for the delay in the track raid was because the medics were called into the pits to have a look over Freddie Hodder.
That makes sense now.
Hopefully he's alright. He's a decent enough lad, Freddie Hodder.
Yeah, to be fair, he's not a bad kid.
Dare I say it though, if he has to withdraw and Max Perry can take 7 rides, I'd rather it have been, from a Glasgow point of view, I'd rather Max Perry, who seems to like this place, than Freddie Hodder going out there, who failed to score in that meeting we've just spoke about and was nowhere near the racing in Heat 2 either. Certain riders just have bogey tracks, don't they? And I think this might be one of those for Freddie.
I think for Freddie as well, we've also got to take into consideration he rode at Bellevue in the Bellevue versus Steelers match at dinner time.
Oh, did he ride there as well?
Yeah, because that's who Ben Morley was getting for in the second meeting.
And that was a 12 o'clock start, weren't it? And it finished
about... That was a 12 o'clock one.
1:45 it finished, didn't it?
It was something like that, and then pack up the van and in a couple of hours trip up here.
Yeah.
And then to get out and ride again, it's...
2 meetings in a day is difficult on man and machine, and obviously when Wolves were running we used to do bank holidays where we'd be at Bellevue in the afternoon and back at Monmore of the evening, and everyone used to say it's really difficult on man and machine. I know a dinner time and a 6 o'clock start's a little bit different, but then you've got to race, then let your adrenaline come down, then pack your van, travel, and then get it back into the zone again, and it can be... Annie was at Workington yesterday.
Yeah, that's a lot of travel. And he was at Poole on Wednesday.
Yeah, and he will be at Poole again this Wednesday if he's fit to do so. Did get quicker as the night went on at Poole on Wednesday though when he guested for Redcar. Looked awful in his first one, but in his third ride he was not a million miles off the pace.
Max Perry could have a lot to say on Wednesday.
Yeah, former Pirate, and he was released, and you always want to do well against your former club.
And arguably, Max Perry's in the form of his career at the minute.
He's riding well. He's riding well now. Yeah, he had that bit of an injury, didn't he, and some expenses to his equipment which he had to replace, and you know that little bit of time off the saddle to get himself fit and his equipment sorted seems to have done him a world of good. He wasn't fantastic yesterday, but it was a tough lineup. Everyone was taking points off everyone, emphasised by the fact nobody was unbeaten after 2 rides.
No, and it's not very often you see that.
No, it's not. especially with the likes of William Cairns, who's got the world at his feet at the moment, and Cooper Russian, who's coming on as the next big thing. Neither were unbeaten after 2 races each. After Heat 8, nobody was unbeaten in that meeting.
No, it was a weird old meeting, but it was a good little meeting.
It was. And the Glasgow boys were ready to just come out. They've been told to go back, so it must be taking longer to check Freddie Hodder over. Hopefully he's alright. I wouldn't say he's a good kid, and you know it's a long winter, so you know you're in a chance to get into the BSN Series Final. You've got the playoff final on Wednesday as well. These are not the meetings you want to be missing. Much like Jody Scott missing the Knockout Cup final and the playoff semi final.
Hodder's struggling to put weight on his foot.
Oh dear!
Is that what's been told on the updates?
Reckon that's one of them where he's just slipped off sillily and the bike's just landed awkwardly on his leg.
It could 100% be something like that, and I can tell you from experience, when you can't put weight on the foot, it's bloody horrible and painful.
Yeah, you've got a point. Who could? Let's have a quick look who Glasgow could get as a guest for him if they needed one. Let's do a bit of brainstorming. You can't have other teams that made the playoffs, can you?
In the playoff final, I think you can. You just can't use a Poole rider because obviously opposition.
Obviously.
But I think you can use when it comes to like once you've been knocked out, other riders from different teams can guest. From what I understand, anyway. But I want to say
there's not a lot of options.
I want to say he's on an awkward average.
2.7, which has actually gone up from his 262. The only riders that are available. To be honest, of the riders available, I think the closest you're going to get is Jack Smith, 268 is available. Although he's not in particularly good form at the moment.
Jordy Loftus.
That's who I was thinking. He's going quite, although he's struggling at championship level. I'd imagine it will be what? Do you go for the experience of Jack Smith or the current form of Jordy Loftus?
I mean, it's a weird one. I mean, Jack Smith guested for Redcar last week.
Got 3 and
experienced lad.
3 and 1, weren't it? Something like that.
Something like that. He didn't produce. The goods that was probably expected.
But Jack Smith has got a lot of ties with Glasgow. Former Glasgow.
100%.
Elliot's in the comments. It's my third meeting of the day. Bellevue finished at 3:25. Then watched the press conference. Got home at 6:10, so listened from Heat 3. To be fair, Elliot, you ain't missed a lot. The scores got level on aggregate. And then was it a 5-1 to
4-2
to Glasgow in Heat 3. Swung it back in their favour in a shared Heat 4, and now we're on a delay because Freddie Hodder is hurt. Elliot says Loftus is a good shout. It will. I'd expect it to be one of Jordy Loftus or Jack Smith. Does Darwood fit? They have had a thing of using Darwood recently as well.
That he fits, and you'd get quite a bit left over as well. But then you've got to consider how fit is Dale Wood, because he had a crash at Bellevue as well today, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Personally, I'd go for, dare I say it, Jack Smith.
But to be fair, Dale Wood can ride Paul well.
He can, yeah. He's guested from there, I think, already this year. I'm sure he guested when Glasgow were there earlier in the year. I might have made that up.
I think you might be right.
Kane says on paper won't get much better than Smith if it's at Glasgow. We are talking about the one at Poole. I do think Jack Smith guests at Glasgow.
I could see that.
It depends whether they opt to use Jack Smith for the 2 if Freddie Hodder's out. This is all hypothetical at the moment. Or do they go for somebody like a Dale Wood away from home and then a Jack Smith at home? How did Dale Wood and Jack Smith get on when Berwick were at Poole?
Good question. I'm not sure.
Just having a look. Dale Wood got 1 + 1. Jack Smith got 3, paid 4. That was in June.
But if Freddie is out for next Friday at Glasgow, Jack Smith is the obvious candidate because he, correct me if I'm wrong here, he was a Tiger for most of last season.
He was, yeah. He came in partway through the season, didn't he?
And he did quite well, if I recall.
Richings has got to be a shout at Poole. I don't think he fits, and he's currently got a broken hand from the grass track last weekend.
Yeah.
Darryl Richings has broke his hand because he was due to guest for Redcar the other day at Poole.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, his average does fit 235, but yeah, it would be little under 2 weeks after breaking his hand, and I don't think he would have recovered sufficiently enough to race then, to be honest.
No. It's all lifts, butts and coconuts and speedway.
A maybe or 2 thrown in there as well. Updates has updated. The paramedics are still with Hodder. So let's hope he's not got to go to hospital, or if he has got it, they can get a county ambulance, because this could be a little bit of a delay here.
We could have a bit of a lengthy gap now, couldn't we?
Hopefully he's alright though. And who will this favour? Glasgow, it was pretty much nip and tuck, weren't it? But everyone's going to be cooling off. It looks a breezy night, the way that Glasgow flag's blowing around there as well. So it's not going to be the warmest of evenings.
It's not the warmest of evenings at a speedway track. I'm not having that. Never
you go to Scunny. Some are. You go to Scunny and it's always bloody cold. We've got highlights from the meeting against Oxford now.
Good meeting this was, if I recall.
This was from last month.
I remember, because I ended up bumping into Peace there, and he's there. He's like, well, you're not very neutral in that jacket. And I'm there like, well, neither are you, to be fair, pal.
I was going to say, I do Scunny's press releases, but I'm an Oxford fan. How does that fucking work?
But, thought Jake Mulford was coming to see us then as well.
Jake Mulford, he's been up and down. He did have a spell at reserve. I think that's done his confidence the world of good. The confidence which was probably shot when he raced in GP2. He wasn't particularly good in that, was he?
He struggled quite a bit.
He did, yeah. Yep. Do you think Jake Mulford ends up back at Redcar? We will at some point when we know the rules for next season. Once the AGM is done, we will do a podcast where we sit and look at riders who we think will go where, and if they're confirmed there or anywhere else. Almost like a little bit of rider bingo, and that'll be on a podcast somewhere down the line.
I know Redcar, they're a little bit like Scunny. They don't like to change too much about the team.
We're back at tapes. Talking of Scunner, Jake Allen's in this one. Carry on, Bush.
But yeah, Redcar are very much like Scunny. They don't like to change the team up too much. So I could definitely see Righty, Jake Mulford. I could see Jake Allen returning. Ace and potentially Jody Scott if Oxford don't tap him up. So I could definitely see 5 returning to Redcar.
No assets now, though, is there? Assets are a thing of the past, so Oxford won't have the chance to do that if he's enjoyed his time at Redcar and they make him a good offer. But I think he'll have a few. Hit number 5, gate 1 in red, Jason Edwards. Gate 2 in yellow, Vilads Nagal. Gate 3 in blue is Jake Allen. Gate 4 in white, Chris Harris, who just did what he needed to from the team's point of view in Heat 1. He let the quicker number 2 go, and he just held off Charles Wright after Jake Mulford had gated had gone. Jason Edwards goes from gate 1 now. There has been a winner off gate 1, but Jake Allen finds himself on the favoured gate 3, and no wins have come from gate 4 yet, but if anyone's going to change that stat, it's going to be Bomber, isn't it?
Yes. We all know how Bomber loves the outside run.
The thing is, has there been enough races to build up the outside run that Bomber loves yet? That's the question.
Soon find out as the start master walks away for heat number 5. The tape slide, away we go. Jason Edwards has made a beautiful start there, and he's got himself to the front, and now Jake Allen's got himself into second, but Vilads Nigel's got himself there into the first place position, so it's currently a 3-all situation with Chris Harris now at the back. This isn't what we expected from Harris, although Harris now looking to come round the outside here with Jake Allen, and I think he's just about done Jake Allen, so the Tigers on a 4-2 advantage as it stands at the minute. Jason Edwards though putting in a much more impressive performance in this one, but even more impressive is Vilads Nigel out in front as it stands at the minute, although Jake Allen at the back looking to put a bit more of a challenge into Chris Harris here as it stands as we enter the final lap then of this race. And if things stay as they are, it's going to be the Tigers on a 4-2, and they'll take the lead on the night, and they'll open up a slightly bigger gap on aggregate as Vilads Nigel goes round to take the checkered flag. And I did say I feared for Redcar in this one, and that proved why.
You are, and you were right. And this is, at the moment, Glasgow are just taken the lead on the night and are pulling ahead on aggregate, and this is with Chris Harris being on 2 paid 3 from 2 rides so far, so he's not at top form yet. That middle order again for Redcar, heat 3, Jason Edwards was at the back, Jake Allen was second. In this one it swapped, Jace was second, Allen was last. There's no continuity there, it's too inconsistent.
And again, I fear for Redcar in Heat 6 as well.
Heat number 5 was won by the rider in yellow, Vilads Nagal. Second in red, Jason Edwards, who was much quicker that time, to be fair. He made a good gate, just straightened up across the corner off turn 2. And third in white, Chris Harris. Jake Allen brings up the rear, 2 points to Redcar, 4 to Glasgow. Puts Glasgow into the lead on the night and opens up that gap to 4 points on the aggregate as well. This is worrying if you're a Redcar fan or a neutral Redcar fan, as Palmer is now. This is concerning. This could end up being one of the biggest crumblings of a season. They were up for 3 titles just 2 weeks ago, and they could end up going out at, well, the final stage of the Knockout Cup. They lost out on that, but they could end up going out in the playoff semis and the BSN semis.
Rumbling more than Aunt Bessie at the minute, aren't they?
And that's got to be a worry. And we questioned this the other day. Should maybe the Jake Mulford have been moved to number 3 for this, try something different? And that's what I would have done personally, and put Jace at 2.
I wouldn't have been against that, to be honest.
No, it's just not working at the moment, and Redcar need this pairing to come to the party. Hit number 6, gate 1 in white, Carl, a good winner of heat 4, a good ride to hold off Ace Piper. Gate 2 in red, Charles Wright, who ran a last in his opening race, something that rarely happens around here. Gate 3 in yellow, Max Perry, a solid win in heat 2, a little bit tougher last time out, but it was against different opposition, sort of. And off the outside in blue, impressive winner of heat number 1, Jake Mulford. But
there's no confirmation either to see Freddie Odder's withdrawn, but I can't see him taking any further part in the meeting.
I don't see him taking any further part either, but we wait and see.
So, heat number 6, the tape slide, away we go. I think Kyle had a little bit of a nibble there, and he's got himself to that first serve first. And now what could Jake Mulford and Charles Wright do? They're getting in each other's way, and this is allowing Kyle to get ahead of both the Bears, and it's currently a 3-all advantage. Well, it's not even an advantage, is it? Both teams are getting to a point. As we head to the next lap now, Wright is putting Howarth under a little bit of pressure here, but not enough to make Kyle shake in his boots. But it's a better performance here from Charles Wright, with Jake Mulford sort of just slacking off a little bit, but he's still... Oh, Max Perry's binned it.
He's trying to get up. He ain't going to get up.
He's not going to get up
He's
in
not
time.
going to get up in time, and that will probably be rerun. There were 2 laps completed. The ref can award it, and Perkin did do that the other night at Ipswich a couple of times. Was there still a race on out in front? That's the other question when awarding early, after a couple of laps.
There was a race on this time out in front.
There was a race on. It weren't like Carl Eworth was a straight clear or anything. There was definitely a race still to be had.
I believe
the refs awarded it.
Well,
He has. It's on BSN's updates already.
yeah, obviously.
He has.
Kyle Charles Jake.
Yes. I don't know. I don't agree with that one. There was still a race to be had. Carl Eworth weren't a million miles clear of Charles Wright, and it was on the second lap. So they can award it after 2 laps if positions are settled. Were they settled as the finishing order? There was definitely... Jake Mulford was definitely finishing 3rd, but can you guarantee Charles Wright was finishing 2nd? For me, no.
No.
That was awarded as a win for the rider in white. Carl Eworth 2nd in red, Charles Wright, and 3rd in blue, Jake Mulford. Points divided again, 3 apiece. And Glasgow maintained their 2-point lead on the night, their 4-point lead on aggregate, and feels like it's almost last chance saloon for Redcar. But Charles Wright 2 points from 2 rides, Danny King 1 and a bonus from 1. The 3 and 4 pairing 2 and a 0 and 0 and a 2 respectively. The reserves are on 6 of Redcar's 17 points, and Jake Mulford's got 4 paid 5 of them as well.
Heat leaders really are letting the Bears down at the minute.
They are.
I mean, the aggregate is only 4 points down.
It's just a 5-1 in somebody's favour, isn't it? But
at this point, it still sounds doable for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Is it doable? Don't know. It sounds it.
This is a tough pairing for Glasgow, though. This could be a 5-1 to them here.
But they're off them unfavoured gates.
Gate 4 still hasn't had a win, but Flinty was quick first time out, and he's a little bit like Bomber. He likes that outside run. Hit number 7, Gate 1 in red, Danny King. Gate 2 in white, Dan Thompson. Gate 3 in blue, Jody Scott. Gate 4 in yellow, Leon Flint.
That it is.
And Redcar, much unlike the meeting against Poole the other night, Redcar are gating tonight.
They're showing a bit more of a fight, aren't they?
But the Glasgow boys have got speed as well, and this is where it comes back to bite you. If Leon Flint were to win this, he'd be unbeaten from 2, and you gave him a practice in a meeting of a tie. You were realistically never going to overturn a 14-point leading.
Oh. Beer tastes lovely on a Sunday night. I mean, what?
Kenneth says awarded wrongly. Don't the paying public want 4 laps if possible? Richard says why a race is awarded when there could be an engine failure or another fall. The referee has to decide after 2 laps. The referee's discretion can be used, and if they deem that there's no racing still to be had, i.e. the leader is that far clear, the positions won't change to affect the result. There could be another fall, but lightning could strike any of us as well. You can't rerun races based off of coulds. It's almost a double jeopardy then.
So, Starmaster walks away for heat number 7, and the tapes rise. Away we go. Dan Thompson's made it there with a brilliant start from Dan Thompson. Leon Flint's made himself at the back, although Jody Scott blasted himself round the outside. There's not quite been able to get round Dan Thompson just yet, but he's going round bends.
What a ride!
Dan Thompson, what a ride there from young Jody Scott. Fantastic move there for the young man, and he's got Dan Thompson all over his exhausted. Danny King's now looking to join the party. King now looking to come up the inside here of Dan Thompson. Can he do it? He's not quite done it, but they're almost neck and neck as they're coming down the home straight as they go wide now round turns 3 and 4. This is going to be a massive boost for the Bears, as it's only going to be down to 2 on aggregate and level again on the night as we go into the last lap. And Jody Scott really making himself an hero here for the Redcar Bears. And Danny King He's settled in third now. I don't quite think he's got enough in the tank to do Dan Thompson here, but a very, very fantastic ride there from Jody Scott.
I'll repeat what we said just now. The heat leaders are letting Redcar down.
Massively.
I think Flinty retired there. That was an opportunity. Danny King didn't make a bad gate. He just doesn't have any speed. He went for the inside for 2 laps, and Jody Scott went straight around the outside of Dan Thompson. For me, that's a sign to say go wide and get a bit of speed, and he didn't. But again, the heat leaders for Redcar are letting them down. Jody Scott, Ace Piper and Jake Mulford are the only ones really with any credibility at the moment for Redcar.
I would have thought his first meeting back for the Bears,
He'd
Jody
be unbeaten
Scott,
from
the only
two.
unbeaten one.
Yeah. And the only unbeaten rider, apart from Carl Ewerth, who obviously has the potential to do that, but as a number 6 just coming back after 12 days out, that's some going. And heat number 7 was won by the rider in blue, Jody Scott. Second in white, Dan Thompson, and third in red, Danny King. That's 4 points to Redcar, 2 to Glasgow. We're tied up on the night at 21 apiece, and that's 2 points Glasgow advantage now. The 4-point deficit for Redcar is halved.
65 points to 67 on aggregate.
Right, this would be harsh.
Go on.
Does Jody Scott come in for ace in A, or for James? Well, he's not for Mulford, is he? Does he come in for ace based off of that? With how quick these 2 minutes are on, no, he doesn't.
No.
I would have capitalised on that. With his confidence and that being high, I'd have capitalised on that personally.
I do see your point. Although Heat 8 around the Echo Arena has got Ace Piper's name written all over it. Well, in recent meetings it has anyway.
Vilad's Nagal's been decent tonight. He's off the gate. That's still not won a race to this point. But again, this is an opportunity, and I think Max Perry's in for Freddie Hoddery, so I'd say Freddie's out. Hit number 8, gate 1 in blue, Ace Piper. Gate 2 in yellow is Max Perry. Gate 3 in red, Jake Mulford, and off the outside in white, Vilad's Nagal.
Big race, this.
It is a big race.
I like saying that. That's my new catchphrase.
You stole that, have you? I'd assume Freddie Hodder's now pulled out because this was due to be his race.
Yeah, I'll double check the updates.
There ain't nothing on there. I've just looked. But 2 of Redcar's better performers so far against... I've got to say it's going to be tough to beat. Vilad's Nagal looked quick last time out. But he's off that unfavoured gate. It's just how Jake Mulford traps with him, and if Ace can get the better of Max Perry again.
We'll find out in about 55 seconds time. As the start marshal waves his arms, walks away. Riders look at the magnets, the tapes fly away we go. Ace has made a beautiful gate there, so has Jake Mulford, and it's caught the Bears on the 5-1 field. That's Nigel though, round through the middle, and like a knife going through hot butter, and it's currently a 3-all. Well, it's just a 3-all, isn't it? It's not an advantage.
You've got to think of saying that, ain't you? 3-all heat advantage.
He's getting close to Nigel there, but it's not quite worked out from there. He just makes a little tiny mistake as he comes over the 4th bend there, or 2nd, whichever one it was, one of the 4. But Vilad's Nigel now, he's checked out away and gone, and it's a 3-all, and this will keep the Glasgow 2-point advantage intact. And you have to just think, when, would the outcome have been the same had Jody been in this one? Who knows? But yeah, I think this is the first meeting I've properly watched Vilad's Nigel, and it's very, very impressive. And as we come round, he's won the race. I thought it was on the 3rd lap, I'm not going to lie.
Jake Mulford wasn't very much in that one though, was he?
As soon as Vilad's Nigel just gone through the 2 Bears, that was it for him, wasn't it?
And you could see that move coming straight away, couldn't you, as well?
Yeah.
And that top 5, although the heat leaders for Glasgow, well, Chris Harris is not firing brilliantly at the moment, but Vilad's Nagal is, and that's ultimately the difference. 5 paid 7 for Mulford. I'd have probably put Jody Scott in there personally, but it's ifs, buts and coconuts, as you like to say.
Ifs, buts, and coconuts.
Heat 8 was won by the rider in white, V Lads Nagal, second in blue Ace Piper, third in red Jake Mulford, points divided again 3 apiece, and it's 24 all on the night, and Glasgow retain their 2-point aggregate lead. I think it's 6.
68 to 70.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a little apology. If you can hear my three little shits, as known as dogs, barking, I do sincerely apologise. I do wish they'd shut up, but they won't.
The next one, the 3 and 4 of Glasgow versus, the Jason Edwards and Jake Allen, 3 or 4 of Redcar versus the unbeaten Kyle Elworth and Max Perry's out again. It's difficult to see where the...
It's hard to see where the Bears are going to get a heat advantage now, innit?
It is. It's just one of those, I think. Are they going to nag one back? But you've got to think Chris Harris won't stay as poor as he's been so far all meeting. He will get it together. He will get it together.
Hopefully by the time we have a Super Heat. I mean, what?
He will get it all in line at some point, surely. Shall we have a quick minute to do a little bit of shameless self-promotion?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's promote our advert.
Well, we may as well share it one more time. It's been shared about 10 times on Facebook today, so we'll share it another time on here.
It's on the screen, Mush.
So, are you look, or do you know of somebody looking for somebody to help you out with your social medias, whether that be run your racing page or just do graphics or anything like that? Give us a message, because we'd be glad to help out. We've worked this year with some really top lads, including Jake Allen, Simon Lambert, Comfort Scorpions, Ace Piper, Steam Piper, Ben Barker, and Ben Morley. I think that's covered them all.
Yeah, and Connor King for his short-lived return.
Connor King for his 1 meeting return. So yeah, if you know of anybody that's interested in having social media platforms run by us next year, then please do not be afraid to get in contact. We only bite if you have cake.
Cake. And after nearly a week of not eating, I'd kill for some cake about now. While these have a break, shall we just have the merest of 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. There's only so much we can talk. We needed that 5 minutes. Apologies, folks.
We've got some more comments, which I will read out in a moment. But Craig Earls in the comments, what a boy. He's got a vested
one of
interest.
them saying...
He's got a vested interest in this because his team is the team that faces the winners of this.
Was one of them comments saying that silence is absolutely golden?
Nah, not quite. We're out with heat number 9, gate 1 in blue, Jake Allen, gate 2 in white, the unbeaten Carl Howarth, gate 3 in red, Jason Edwards, who did look more competitive last time out, and off the outside in yellow, Max Perry out for his fifth ride of the evening so far, having to cover for the injured Freddie Hodder as well, who was almost definitely withdrawn from this meeting. Very quickly, Craig Hurl says, evening gents, hope you're well. Kenneth says, well, halfway through and the Bears heat leaders have not helped the team at all, maybe thinking of their holidays already. Luke says, Redcar not turning up when it matters. Can't disagree with either of those.
No, to be fair.
But again, I haven't seen enough from Glasgow to comfortably say they beat Poole either. We've watched Poole a lot this year because of their race day primarily. At home, they're really good, and last time Glasgow were there, despite the BS that Cammy Brown came out with, Poole took a 14-point lead up to Glasgow.
It's certainly going to be an interesting final next week. Startmaster and walks away for heat number 9. And the tapes fly away. We'll go. Kyle Lewis made a good start. Jake Allen's got there first, and Jason Edwards there in the third place at the minute. What can Max Perry do as he looks to come underneath? Jake Allen looking like the only one at the minute that's putting a threat to Kyle Lewis maximum, and it's going to be a 4-2 to the Bears, and this is going to put us level on aggregate if things stay as they are. But Jake Allen, he rides his plays absolutely beautifully, and when he gets in front, there's nothing better than watching Jake Allen around the Echo Arena. I'd arguably say, as a Scunthorpe fan, it's better watching Jake at Redcar than it is at Scunny. But yeah, Jake Allen, he's absolutely looking phenomenal in this race with Kyle Howarth there in second. This is a Scuddy 2024 5-1. Where was this last year, boys? Jason Edwards is very, very solid there out in third, barring any form of slips, trips, falls, and mechanical failures. As we enter what I believe is the last lap now.
Yep. Done. Race over.
Oh no, the race is done.
Race over. And that ties the aggregate.
Count to 4, pal.
That ties the aggregate score up, and that's absolutely pivotal. And if Charles Wright can get it together in this next one with Jake Mulford against that 3 and 4 of Glasgow, things may look a little bit better for Redcar, but Glasgow have got that Perez pairing, and if Leon Flint sorted his mechanical issues out, they're more than capable of edging that lead back out for Glasgow.
Another race where Redcar should potentially get a heat advantage had Freddie Hodder withdrawn is either 12 or 14. Oh wait, no, it's alright, I've messed up my maths.
Heat number 9 was won by the rider in blue, Jake Allen, second in white, the first defeat of the evening for Carl Howarth, and third, crucially, in red, Jason Edwards. Max Perry bringing up the rear in his 5th outing of the night. That's a 4-2 to Redcar, and it's now 28 points to 26 on the night, and we're all tied up at
72
apiece. Yeah. I don't have... literally, my programme consists of a plain striped notepad with my writing in it. I don't have gates, I don't have aggregate scores or anything like that.
I'm sort of trying to add the aggregate scores up as we go along, to be fair.
Ah, okay. You've printed a proper one, haven't you? I've got this thing called a bag of shit of a printer that ain't worked for the best part of a year. But it makes a good place to store my snacks on top of.
Sounds like my printer. It works, but it's got like all sorts of crap on top of it.
Heat number 10, gate 1 in blue, Jake Mulford, gate 2 in yellow, Leon Flint, gate 3 in red, Charles Wright, gate 4 in white is Dan Thompson. Again, could an argument have been made for Jody Scott to come in here off the inside gate? It worked in the last one, and Jody Scott gated like a trooper as well in his last ride.
So again, it's all ifs, buts and coconuts in it.
Jake Mulford wasn't particularly close to Relad Nagal or Ace Piper in Heat 8, was he? He was some way cut adrift.
No, but if Jake can gate off the inside, he probably will stay out in front.
So Craig says Tobias Thompson fan club is the real reason. We ain't even acknowledged what happened the other day. It's been and gone, and it's been forgotten about by us, to be honest. So if you want to carry on thinking about it, you do you, boo.
Yeah, what you said, yeah. So, heat number 10 then, Start Marshall walks away. The tapes right away we go. Jake Mulford's gated like an absolute demon, and he's got to that first serve first. And now what could Charles Wright do? And Charles Wright's got the better of rider in white, which is Dan Thompson, although Leon Flint now blasting himself right round the outside there, and it's the Tigers. Jake Mulford's gone from first to last. What a bell end as Righty now just about gets around Dan Thompson, but Leon Flint's there, he's out in front, and Righty's got his eyes set on Leon Flint, and he's got a couple of laps to achieve his goal, although Dan Thompson riding the inside line here, and is getting closer each lap to Charles Wright. Now Righty trying the inside line here on Leon Flint. What can he do? He's done him. Nice move there from Charles Wright, as we've got one lap left to go then in this one, and Righty literally keeping the Bears in this one, and it will stay level on aggregate at 75 points apiece. And that was a beautiful ride there from Charles Wright, and that's just what the Bears needed. Although Jake Mulford went from hero to literally zero.
I'll reiterate my point. Jody Scott should have been in there. This 1 and 2 pairing, twice now tonight, they've raced each other, and it's benefited neither of them. Jody Scott should 100% have been in there, and a lot of Redcar fans question Gavin Parr's tactics, so I've got to question it in that one as well.
Everybody questions Gavin Parr's tactics.
Jody Scott should have been in there. He's unbeaten from his 2 rides so far. Jake Mulford was tailed off in Heat 8. He was in 3rd, but that's only because Max Perry was struggling. Jody Scott 100% should have been in there for Jake Mulford. Result of Heat 10 was win for the rider in red, Charles Wright even. Got Jake Allen on the brain. 2nd in yellow, Leon Flint, and 3rd in white, Dan Thompson. Points divided 3 apiece. It's 31-29 on the night, and we're still tied up at 77 each now? 74 each.
75.
75
each.
Yeah, I really should have kept count of these aggregates, but here we are. I fear for Redcar in this one. Especially with Danny King, who's on 2 paid 3 so far from 2 rides.
Yeah, so we've got the saviour, Jody Scott. Shit, he's on gate 4.
Gate 4's only had 1 winner. That was Vilad's Nagal in Heat 8.
Who's ironically off gate 3 in this one.
Yeah, and he's looked quick when he's got clean air, and although Bomber's been a little bit crap at the moment, that won't carry on all night, surely.
You wouldn't imagine so.
Heat 11, gate 1 in white, Chris Harris. Gate 2 in red, Danny King. Gate 3 in yellow, Vilad's Nagal. Gate 4 in blue, Jody Scott.
Again, another massive Redcar will take 3 threes until 8:15, and then a little 4-2.
But crucially, Glasgow have got the gate choice for Heat 15.
3 threes all the way, then a 4-2 in Heat 14, and 3-3 in 15. There we go. Fixed it.
Charles Wright didn't make the best of gates there, but did wind the speed on, and it worked. And it was a hard move, but it was a fair move. He did leave room for Flinty, and Flinty left a little bit of a gap. It wasn't a usual Charles Wright last ditch attempt attack.
No, it was a very fair move there from Righty, and it's not very often we say that.
It's not. You're not a fan of Charles Wright. I don't watch him enough to know whether he's dirty or dangerous or whatever.
He's just a dickhead. I mean, he's not a very nice person. You know, right? I'll be honest with you. The only reason I don't really like him is because when I worked for Scuddy TV, 3 times he refused an interview. That's literally the only reason I don't like him. Heat 11, tapes us rid away we go. Bomber's gated, and he's got himself to that first. forces Danny King wide, that allows Vilad's Nigel to get himself into that first place position, and now Danny King blasts himself there into the second place, and now King is going right round the outside here, and
what a
move up the inside there around Vilad's Nigel, and it's a 3-3 which is going to keep us level on aggregate still, and this tie is absolutely anybody's to play for. Vilad's Nigel's closing in now on Danny King. What can Nigel do? As King just holds the right line there round the outside, his back wheel's just about in the dirt, and Jody Scott's Max was well and truly going in this one, by the way, but I think we pretty much expected this, and Danny King showing up when he really needed to, and maybe this tie isn't over just yet as we enter the final lap now, and Danny King's got a decent lead now over Vilad's Nigel and Chris Harris, who's still been very shit, and yeah, a big 3-3 there needed. And much like Charles Wright, I'm not a fan of Chris Harris either, so I do apologise for any language that may have offended you, but if it offended Chris Harris, grow up.
Good move from Danny King there, made a good gate, but Vilad's Nigel made a very smart cutback and got ahead, and then Danny King just dived straight through the middle of them. Chris Harris, 3 paid 5 from 3 outings so far. It's a very un-Chris Harris-like performance at the moment.
Not like Christopher to be this bad, is it?
And now Heat 12 is really where Redcar needs to try and capitalise. I think, is it Jason Ace?
Ace. Jason Ace.
Against somebody and Max Perry. Dan
Thompson.
Yeah.
Who, let's be honest, Dan hasn't been great tonight.
No, it's not had his best of meetings. The winner of heat number 11 was Danny King in red, second in yellow Vilad's Nigel, who's had a very good meeting, and third in white Chris Harris. Points again divided 3 apiece, and it's 34-32 to Redcar on the night, and we're still square. 78 all on aggregate.
Correct, Mundo.
Well, we learned. But I will reiterate what I've already said. If I'm Paul, I'm not really concerned about either of those two teams at the moment.
A bit of luck, Paul will be too busy celebrating the league to care about the BSN, and they'll just let Redcar have it.
Unless Glasgow get there, and then Paul can care about the BSN all day bloody like.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And it will be interesting to see how Cammy Brown reacts on Wednesday, going back to Paul, the place that he's criticised so much for their very hostile reception from the fans towards him and his riders last time, which I think was extremely exaggerated by Big Cameron, to be honest.
Yeah, and obviously let's not forget who put that that article on the Glasgow website. Obviously, Phil Lanning's got a bit of a thing for our Cameron.
Heat number 12, gate 1 in yellow, Max Perry, gate 2 in red, Jason Edwards, gate 3 in white, Dan Thompson, gate 4 in blue, Ace Piper. Ace isn't particularly gating well tonight, but he's got some speed on the track, and Jason Edwards is gating well, but seems to constantly be hitting a little bit of a rut or something that's sending him straight across bend 2. He's done it in his last 2 races. This is one he can't afford to do that.
Oh, 100%.
I'd expect a minimum 3 all here. I don't think Max Perry's looked particularly good since his first race. But from a Redcar standpoint, you probably want to eat into that aggregate lead or aggregate level, you know what I mean? With it being tied, you want to eat into that now before Chris Harris and Kyle Ewer in 13.
Massively.
Mark says, what's the score on the night and on aggregate, please? It's 34-32 on the night and 78 all on aggregate.
Tapes rise then for heat number 12. Jason Edwards gets gated down. He's got to that first. Critically, though, it's both the Glasgow Tigers in second and third with Ace Piper at the back, and Ace Piper looking to put a challenge in on Max Perry as Dan Thompson's gone up the inside here with Jason Edwards. Edwards back around the outside. Beautiful move there from Jason Edwards. And now Ace Piper stormed underneath there. Max Perry. Now the Bears are on a 4-2. The Bears are going to go on ahead on aggregate if things stay as they are. And I know Dan Thompson, from talking to a friend of mine, isn't happy with how this track is tonight. And that's his problem. But I think this looks quite settled now, to be fair. It's going to be a 4-2 to the Bears if things carry on as they are. Sorry if I'm getting a bit excited. This might mean I get to go to another meeting, as it's a 4-2 as it stands. Dan Thompson's closing in now on Jason Edwards. What could he do with 1 lap to go? These were teammates only a couple of days ago winning a trophy. But Jason Edwards gets the better of his Ipswich reserve partner Dan Thompson, and critically, Ace Piper gets that very important 3rd place.
Jason Edwards stepped up when he counted then. That seemed like a very, very long delay at the start, but Jason Edwards nailed the gate over Max Perry. Dan Thompson missed it by a country mile. And Jason Edwards, although came under pressure, believed in that outside line, screwed it on, got round the outside of Dan Thompson and rode a smart race after an ace. Hard on Max Perry. There's no contact, there's no, malice or anything in that movie. Runs the inside where Max Perry's left an open door, and he gets 3rd place, and Max Perry will probably be knackered at this point. That was his 6th outing of the night. Craig says, bunch of Ouija melts. I wholeheartedly agree, Mr. Earl. Heat number 12 was won by the rider in red, Jason Edwards, 2nd in white, Dan Thompson, and 3rd in blue, Ace Piper. Redcar extend their lead to 4 points on the night at 38 points to 34, and crucially, for the first time, move ahead on the aggregate score as well by 2 points.
82 to 80.
Chris Harris has yet to win a race, and Carl Eweth beaten last time out as well against Charles Wright and Danny King, who both won their last races.
The Redcar heat leaders have finally stepped up.
And crucially,
13.
Redcar are off 1 and 3 in that battle as well, which could pay dividends, but there is going to be a track ride now.
This heat 13 could be oh, bloody hell tapes. Do you have to show us replays of this meeting? It was crap. apart from heat, whatever it was when they had the scrap.
And Redcar just about got into the Knockout Cup final by the skin of their teeth. I get the feeling if they're going to get into the BSN Series Final as well, it's going to be by the skin of their teeth.
It is massively. Again, they're very much like a Scunny from last year. They peaked too soon, and when cup finals and everything come, we just crumbled. And I can see the same thing here happening for the Bears. Oh, Luke's in front of you.
Shiv George says, what's the score? On the night, it's 38 points to 34. On aggregate, it's 78? 82 80?
82-80 rings a bell.
82 points to... Yeah, Redcar are 2 points up. So Redcar require 8 points to mathematically advance. Glasgow require 10, but with heat 13, Chris Harris, who's had a below par night, but we all know Bomber. He's very capable of turning it on at any given moment.
Yes, he is.
I don't see what Dan Thompson's issue with the track is. You ain't going to get a track like the last time Glasgow were here, in the middle of October.
He's been complaining to that friend of mine's sister that the track's far too bumpy on bends 3 and 4. Now, Dan, pal, if you're listening, it's winter mush. Get used to it. Tracks aren't going to be nice and smooth in October.
If he's moaning about this being bumpy, you wait till you get to Poole on Wednesday, Dan, pal. Then you'll know what bloody bumpy is. Because 3 and 4 at Poole is notorious. Although they have flattened it out. It's something to do with the sea in it as to why 3 and 4 is bumpy.
Something to do with the tide, I think they said on BSN last time. Just don't have a track by the beach. Mind you, the tide never seems to affect Workington, and that's literally...
That's right by the beach.
Right, just across the road.
And that will be our next watch-along, Poole versus Glasgow on Wednesday from the Wimborne Road track. We're going back to Poole, Palmer, at least via BSN.
Do like a trip to Poole via the comfort of my bed.
Shiv says, so it's looking good for the Tigers then. It's Redcar that are 2 points up on aggregate, but a heat advantage to Glasgow in 13, and that suddenly changes. Elliot says, close night, hope Redcar can pull it off, makes a nice mix of finals, just hope Poole don't win all 3 titles. Poole looked frail at points, and Poole still do have frailties within their team. But when you've got a number 1 like Richard Lawson, Tobias Thompson seems to perform better away. Whatever our opinions are of him personally, he does seem to perform away. Struggles at home, but seems to perform away. The 3 and 4 of Zach Cook and Louis Kerr are phenomenal. Anders Rowe, he's riding a bit unwell at the moment. He had to pull out of Friday's meeting with illness, didn't he? So it'll be interesting to see if he's better and fully fit, because a fully fit Anders Rowe at Poole is really good, and he can ride Glasgow as well. And the 2 reserves, William Cairns, I think, got back-to-back maximums for the Colts today.
He didn't. He got beat by Luke Harrison in 13 of the Steelers match.
He dropped 1 point in 2 meetings for the Bellevue Colts today. And Paul Stark, former Glasgow rider, again, you always want to do well against
Harbour Masters champion.
You always want to do
that.
You always want to do well against your former club, and yeah, that's that one, and I'm sure he'll want to put a shift in against Glasgow. What do you think Paul needs to take from Wednesday up to Glasgow? I think, because Glasgow did eat into that 14-point lead quite well last time, so does it need to be around that again?
Nah. If Paul could have a lead between 6 and 10, I think they'll be fine, because Paul, they're just bloody good everywhere, aren't they?
They're quite astute at knowing what they need to do, aren't they? Like the Hurley says, it's like carpet there. Thank you. They just know what they need to do, and with the experience of Richard Lawson running through the team, when you've got a number 1 that will more than likely max out wherever he goes, and knows the Glasgow track as well. You know, we got a faultless maximum here on Friday, and he didn't even break a sweat in doing it. Richard
Lawson got a paid maximum over both legs. He got 29 plus 1 over 2 legs.
Oh yeah, because he got paid 15 in the first leg as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see if Freddie Hodder can't ride, who Glasgow get as a guest. I mean, the numerical one would suggest probably Jack Smith, but Glasgow have liked choosing Darwood. And Hurley means yes, I mean no shale. Sounds like you're talking about Scuddy.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I bet there'll be more shale on that track for the winter series that's coming up at Scunny.
There'll be more shale on the track now because we're having stock cars every other week.
It's a big winter coming up, ain't it?
Oh, massive. I mean, I know just last week a big emergency meeting was called to try and decide, you know, what we're doing with the league next year. And the outcome of that emergency meeting is, drum roll please,
no idea.
Nobody
knows. Imagine that, you have an AGM and you call in a meeting while the season's still going on. It's as if they're not allowed to go overseas this year and get pissed up, and they've actually got to do some work, and they don't know what that feels like.
Well, you know, I mean, there are rumours of Northampton coming in to still have a 16 Premiership, and that's on the proviso, and everybody's just assuming at this point that Sheffield's going to have a buyer in there. The last buyer, last potential buyer, has fallen through.
That's it a snag, yeah. That's it a big snag as well. When I was telling you about it the other day, you were by no way surprised by that.
So you know, I mean, I still think the way to go is one big league. I know a lot of people are against that, but for me, I go to watch the racing.
To me, right, the people who seem to be against it are those people with the teams like with your Emil Savard and obviously Jason Dawes, your Dan Bewley, your Brady Kurtz, people like that, your Ty Wuffendens, your Jack Alders. It's the people who have got those international big names, but with a big name comes a big wage bill for them as well.
For me, they're just a name. Like
They
I've
are.
said to many people, the best meetings I've seen racing-wise this year has been National League at Leicester.
Yeah, I've enjoyed National
know.
League racing or National Trophy racing when I was at Brum. I went to more National Trophy meetings at Birmingham than I did Brummie's meetings this year. We're on to Heat 13. Gate 1 in red, Charles Wright winner last time out. Gate 2 in white, Chris Harris, who's not won a race yet, not even got a second place yet, but he's capable of doing that. Gate 3 in blue, Danny King with a very inspired ride last time out. And Gate 4 in yellow, Carl Hereford, who's dropped just the 1 point so far to Jake Allen. It's a very tense 3 heats coming up.
This could be very tasty. I mean, these two Redcar boys, these have stepped up when they needed to step up.
And hopefully they'll do it. I was going to say, yeah, they started slow, didn't they? But
Chris Harris will not be this crap all meeting long.
No, and this line where it is now is a Chris Harris line.
It is.
So you need to be trapping him. And Carl Elworth, we mentioned earlier, the elbows on Carl Elworth. If he gets a chance to give you a good heave-ho, he ain't missing that.
Just ask Doyley.
Yeah, never hit him, but tried to kill him.
Never touched him.
Never touched him, but he had half of his bike covers over his bike.
I'm getting nervous now. So Star Marshall walks away for heat number 13. Tapes fly away we go. Charles Wright has gated there and he's got to that first to first. Now what could Danny King do? Chris Harris up the inside here of Danny King, and it's a free situation at the minute, and this will suit the Bears all day long. With Righty there out in front, and he's pulling away now from the Bears, from the Tigers, sorry. And Chris Harris is starting to close in on Charles Wright. Danny King's looking to go up the inside here of Kyle Howarth. Kyle Howarth said, "You're not coming through me, pal. You're bald. I've got a bit of hair on my head, and I look like world famous Scunny Dan, so I'm going to get a point here." As we move into the next lap, Charles Wright's away and gone now. He can go get himself a hot dog, and this will do the Bears just nicely. They'll stay 2 points in front. Although King is looking to blast himself round the outside here. He's got 1 lap left to do so. Can Kingy do it? We've got the back straight left to do, and he's not a million miles off Kyle here, but right, he's all checked out away. Gon Harris is very settled there in second, and as they come down to the line, Kyle quite convincingly gets that third.
Yeah, Danny King's let his team down again there.
Danny King, normal service has resumed.
He's definitely let his team down again there. The line is up wide, so where does Danny King ride? Round the curb for 2 laps.
Standard Danny King.
Heat 14, I can't even call, because Leon Flint was a convincing winner of Heat 1, has only got 2 points since, including a last place when he had bike issues. Jake Allen ended Carlos maximum, but has had a duck in there as well. So that one's going to be an interesting one. Heat number 13 was won by the rider in red, Charles Wright, second in white, Chris Harris, and third in yellow, Carl Hereford. Points divided 3 apiece. It's 41-37, and Redcar remain 2 points ahead on aggregate. Kenneth says knew it was going to be close, but surprised Bombers having a bad meeting. He did look a little bit more like the usual Chris Harris then.
He did. As that very, very, very neutral Redcar supporter, I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit nervous for this one. Worse, because it's going to be Max Perry in yellow, I'm almost certain of it. Going to get at least a 3-3.
We've got 35 people watching us. Jody Scott is in blue.
It was programmed in this one.
Oh, is it? I thought it was meant to be ace for some. Oh, it's 3 and 6 versus 3 and 7, and it'll 3 and 7 versus 3 and 6 in Heat 13.
4,
and
6.
Then that one.
4-6, 4-7 in 14.
Yeah, and it's the other way around in the other one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Big race, and Jake Allen needs to make the trap off that outside gate. And statistically, Glasgow are on the better gates here, with 1 and 3 having 4 wins apiece. Gate 2 has also had 4, and Gate 4 has had just that one single win from Vilads Nagal in Heat 8. So
if the rumours are true and Jake Allen wants to ride here every week next week, this is the time for himself to make himself an hero.
It is, yeah. And Jody Scott's gating. you'd expect Jody Scott to beat Max Perry, but Max Perry was an impressive winner of Heat 2. The track has changed since, but he can do it around
Jody
here.
won't eat too much.
Did Jody?
Jody.
Max, yeah, Max was competitive though, weren't he?
He got a second, and then he's got naff all since
It was
then.
competitive, yeah. It's about whether the Bears can stop Flinty here, but although he's had a last because of mechanical issues and a second place when he was beaten by Charles Wright last time out, he looked good for 3 laps in that last one before Wrighty got him. So, and
5-1 to Redcar, and the Bears are through.
5-1 to Redcar, and the Bears are through. But I'll be honest, don't see that happening here. A heat advantage would be nice because it's maximum or bust to draw it level on aggregate then in 15, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Chris Harris, I think, knew what he was doing when he went for Gates in Heat 15.
He knew this wasn't going to be an easy meeting. Startmaster walks away for 8-14. The tapes fly away. We go. And it's Leon Flint that's made a good start there. Jake Allen looking to go around the outside here. Max Perry's got himself there into the second place position. Jake Allen's just blasted himself round the outside of Max Perry. And it's a 4-2 as it stands to the Glasgow Tigers, which is going to level us all up on aggregate unless Jody Scott could do some damage here on Max Perry. Jody going really wide there. Jake Allen's at the front. And now Leon Flint coming up underneath Jake Allen here. This is massive. This in the context of the meeting, and Jody Scott also critically has just about got around Max Perry, so as it stands it's still going to be a 2-point advantage to the Bears going into Heat 15. Look, Flint is there, he's out in front, he's enjoying life out in front, and he is all Flinty. I don't think he's had a bad meeting around the Echo Arena, and to be fair, this race looks virtually settled now as it's a 3-all, but Jake Allen's closing in on Leon Flint. One mistake for Flinty. Jake's coming round the outside. What could Jake do?
Oh my good God, he is a bag of shit. What an idiot. What was the need for that? Oh my God. All he needed to do was stay on the bike. He was going to get second. Redcar were going to maintain their aggregate lead. And he goes for high, wide and handsome and puts himself into the home straight fence. And his bike over it.
Tried a bit too hard, didn't he? I
Why?
don't think he knew the proper implications, did he?
Why?
Oh, that crash was sickening. So over the course of the past 48 hours, I've had 2 mates going to the same bit of track at Redcar.
I don't think Redcar fans will quite be as welcoming for Jake Allen if he's there next year now. He didn't need to do that. Did not need to do it.
He didn't need to do it, but there's trying and then there's trying too hard, isn't there? And I think Jake was just trying that a little bit too hard. And again, when you've got your helmets on, there's no such thing as trying too hard. It's all or nothing. Jake just give it all. I think he just picked up that little bit too much grip when he went really, really wide, and he's ended up in the same part of the fence as Ace Piper did, and his bike's gone to somebody in the crowd. He'll probably never see that bike again now. We know what people are like in Middlesbrough. Max
Perry's point there may have just sealed Glasgow's route through. Any heat advantage to either side in 15, and that team will go through, and crucially Glasgow have gate choice. I'm going to say this now, I think Jake Allen's just cost Redcar the place in the final with that.
Again, it's racing, in it, it's all or nothing, and he was giving it his all, he just maybe gave it a little bit too much.
You need to think of the bigger implications though, don't you?
Well, obviously I hope Jake's alright. He's a sound lad, and
apart from when he's texting you just before the season to do his graphics.
Well, we've already had this discussion, and he wants to be back on him next year.
Oh,
so
God.
I've got time to work on him for next year now. So whoever he's with next year, Redcar, don't announce until after Christmas.
Redcar will be
because I'm having a break till Christmas.
Redcar will be open. They can tip X's signature off that contract now, I think.
apparently the paramedics are in the crowd at Redcar here now.
As that bike hit somebody.
To be fair, the way it just went over the fence, I would not be surprised.
Nah, no man.
And there's no, as you can see, there's no catch fencing or anything here at Redcar, which is one reason why I really like going, because you do get quite close to the action. But when something like that happens, and that, ironically, is where all my mates tend to stand at Redcar. So I hope I hope the paramedics aren't dealing with one of them more than anything.
The camera's kind of gone over there. There's people jumping around and not looking. That bike's gone. Where has he gone?
Gone in the back of one of them cars behind the
There's
stand.
the medic. So somebody quite close to the start line. He's down on the floor. That could become an issue legally for Redcar as well now.
I mean, we had a similar incident actually at Scunny in 2010. And Scunny was racing against Stoke Potters, and there was a young lad called Taylor Poole.
I remember him.
Messed it up. It just messed it up on the second bend. He'd come off, and his bike somersaulted into the fence, and his engine hit somebody on the head.
Ooh.
And obviously, we was fearing of the legal implications and everything. But the geezers that the bike hit said, "Look, I love the speedway. I'm not going to press any charges against it. It was an incident. They happen, and it was just a case of bad luck there, wasn't it?" But yeah.
Cammy Brown's rubbing his hands together now. He's thinking, brilliant. 2 more trips to Poole. Here we go.
Yeah.
Who the bloody hell? The Redcar put in 5th. Charles Wright's an obvious, but who else? Danny King was crap in 13. I would have said Jake Allen until then.
Just to say this, Jason Edwards.
You'll probably go for the experience of Danny King, and Glasgow are almost certainly going to take 1 and 3 because they're by far the favoured gates.
Depends who's picking the gates. If it's Cammy Brown picking the gates, he'll pick 2 and 4 because he's stupid. I mean, he's not very well educated.
To be fair, right, Pete Adams always used to say this when Wolves had 15. He'd always say you cannot offer up the inside gate to the opposition when you've got gate choice in 15. And I never used to understand it, but the more I watch Speedway, the more I've come to understand it.
Yeah. You understand more, don't you, when you've been in the pit side of things?
Yeah, you do. You do get more of a feel for how things work and how people's minds work. Luke, has someone in the crowd been struck? I think so. The bike shot off over the fence and then just cleared off. And although the cutout would have come out, it takes a little bit of time to stop the engine revving and everything as well. And the bike would have just probably bounced. And yeah, potentially.
Yeah, it's horrible crash. And I think Jake's all right, which is good. But obviously, thoughts are with the people in the crowd because, well, I mean, you know, with us, anyone, Dill, I do go to Redcar quite a bit, and that's tend to be where I stand. That's where all like the good people and that are at Redcar. So, and all the guys over there are they're all sound folk, and yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious.
We are now on the cusp of saying how was Redcar's potentially brilliant season crumbled so badly at the last hurdle. They're about to get absolutely sod all from a potential 3 competitions they were in at the end of the season.
I mean,
and that needs looking at.
It's all right, Gavin Parr going around saying, well, we've come so far as a club this year, we were in a lot better place than what we was, but ultimately,
You've still
You crumbled.
you've
We've crumbled when it matters.
crumbled when it
You
counts.
crumbled when it matters.
Winnie's in the comments. First of all, what ice cream are we on tonight? Says evening all. Didn't know you were on tonight. What happened? Jake Allen's bike lifted over the fence when he crashed in E14, and it looks like it's hit somebody in the crowd.
It has. It's hit a supporter.
So the paramedics are in the crowd at the minute. And I used to moan about the viewing at Birmingham, because you've been to Birmingham in the past. You were bloody miles away, but there was never any danger of a bike hitting you.
No, but then again, it's everybody. It's written in most of the programs. If you're a sad bastard like me and you read them,
what a race was that we're watching now.
this was a fantastic meeting. This was
4 abreast going over the start to finish line.
Oh, it was. Oh, going to this meeting was the best decision I've made. This was a quality meeting from heat 1 to 15, and this heat 15 just topped the charts.
What does it say in the programs? I never ever read the programs. According to Speedway updates, the meeting has been abandoned
after 13 heats.
Yeah, there's not been a result declared for 14.
If it's been abandoned, Redcar go through.
I reckon there'll be some kind of thing for that Cammy Bray. Although I don't know whether the result of 14 will go out or what. Should we message and ask Carrie? Do you want to, or do you want me to? I'm on Facebook now.
I'll let you. That's yeah.
That's not a good sign if it has been.
I'll text my pal. That's track stuff there.
The Heat 14 results gone in on the referee's scorecard as a 4-2 to Glasgow, so it's tied up on aggregate. What they're going to do? Flip a coin or something?
This is British Speedway. That's very possible.
I'll hold off a little bit for putting Ace's result out until we know what's going on.
Yeah, that's smart.
Winnie says, I think when an incident like that happens, there has to be a visit from local health and safety, I think, before anything else gets ran there. I don't know how they're going to sort this out.
Well, if you just think back to the GP2 qualifier at Glasgow, they had about 4 or 5, didn't they? On
Then they
the
pick
same
straws
point.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ideal, that is it? Not ideal at all. Redcar win on the night at 43-41, which does tie us up on aggregate. Flint is being interviewed now.
That was from this
other
meeting,
meeting, yeah. I'm sure we'll get updated of what's going on when we'll stay on for a few minutes just to see if whatever comes out, what the result will be. I assume when that happens, yeah, you can't have any more races. Yeah, that does make sense now you come to mention it.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do, and hopefully, we'll hear more. But yeah, the BSN final needs sorting out, and talking of finals that needs sorting out, the Jubilee final 3 years on, we still haven't had it yet.
You're like Paisley with this statement from Plymouth. Shiv says, so someone's been hit, yeah, bikes hit somebody in the crowd. Ugh. And it has been abandoned, yeah, after 14 heats.
It's a shame we didn't get to the full conclusion, to be fair, because that's been a cracking little meeting, hasn't it, to watch?
It was decent racing, yeah, it was. It was a good tie.
But yeah,
I don't know how they're going to sort this out. Knowing British Speedway, it'll be something stupid like whoever won the last run race, whoever got the advantage out of the last run race, which was 14, which Glasgow got an advantage. Knowing British Speedway, it'll be something stupid like that decides it.
knowing British Speedway, they'll be like, right, what was the result of the kids' running race at Glasgow versus Redcar? If the winner of that race was a Redcar fan, Redcar will go through.
Yeah, it is. And to be fair, at the point when something like this happens, you just have to try and sort of, I don't know, hope for the best, I suppose. Like, nobody will know anything until Redcar will release a statement, probably tomorrow. Camera's completely gone off the crowd. There's flashing lights coming into the stadium now.
Ambulance coming into the stadium now. This isn't good. Do you want me to put the volume on to see if we've got an update?
Yeah, we'll be back in a moment.
The meeting has been abandoned.
So
Go on
we
then.
are back as just being confirmed. The meeting has been abandoned. Luke has commented saying Speedway updates has Redcar up by 4. That's incorrect. The meeting was abandoned with the result of Heat 14 being awarded. Speedway updates hasn't put the Heat 14 result in, but Heat 14 was a 4-2 to Glasgow, so it is tied up at what is it, 87 apiece, 88 apiece.
Yeah.
88 each on
87
aggregate.
all.
So yeah, but Speedway updates hasn't put in the Heat 14 result, but it was abandoned after Heat 14 with that Glasgow 4-2, which makes the aggregate scores tied up, and it will now go to the Speedway Control Bureau to sort out, and I assume there'll be some kind of statement from Redcar when the time is right. And Kenneth says, thanks for your comments, enjoyed it. Sad end to the sad end to, hope the spectator isn't too badly hurt.
Yeah, that was a cracking little meeting, that, and it's gutting that it ended that way, to be fair.
We will have an update, anything that comes out from Redcar or from the SCB or anything like that. We will have an update. You know what I fear it may go back to? The meeting which had the full 15 heats ran. I fear it may come down to that. I think something like that's happened before.
If it's level on aggregate, they should do what they used to do back in the day. I don't care if it's October.
Replay
the whole tie. Replay the whole tie. Both legs. Just replay the lot.
Elliot has said, can you confirm the Heat 14 result? It was won by the rider in Whiteley on Flint. Jody Scott was second, and Max Perry took third, with Jake Allen excluded. That's all for the comments on here. We've got 37 people watching. Our viewers are going up now. We're just about to finish for the evening. But we will have an update on this, anything that comes out as we start Wednesday's watch along for Poole and Glasgow in the championship playoff final first leg.
I'll just run down the individual scorers then. Charles Wright scored 8, Jake Mulford 5 and 2, Jason Edwards 6, Jake Allen 5, Danny King 5 and a bonus, Jody Scott 8, Ace Piper 6, Chris Harris 5 and 2, V-Lads Nigel 10, Dan Thompson 6 and a bonus, Leon Flint 8, Kyle Howarth 9 and 1, Max Perry 3, and obviously Freddie Odder withdrew after his first ride with nil points.
We're off now until Wednesday. We're back for the first leg of the Championship playoffs. We're also back Thursday at around about 7:50, somewhere between 7:15 and 7:30 for episode 2 of the Tapes to Flag podcast, where we'll discuss everything that's happened up to Thursday between, when we last had a podcast and our next podcast. There will probably be every fortnight, so we'll just cover everything that's happened. We'll recap over this tie and this meeting, and we'll probably have an answer from the SCB by that point as well.
To be fair, we'll probably have an answer in the morning.
Yeah, there will be a statement put out, and hopefully the supporter that's been hit by the bike is okay and make a full recovery, but we have to wait and see. Just remind you of the dangers of speedway. I remember one time at Wolves when Richard Lawson and Peter Carlson came together, and Richard Lawson's bike took off over the centre green and hit the starting pole, and it nearly took out the centre green presenter and the flag marshal on the start line, and it just went over their head and then hit the starting pole.
Oh, I remember there was an incident at Scunny as well. It was Michael Palmtoft. It was dusty, like proper dusty. You couldn't see a thing. And Tofty just turned a bit too early because he couldn't see, and he just rode straight into the start marshal. And I'll never forget going into the pits. I've never seen Tofty shaking so much, and when the incidents like that happen, obviously the mental health of the rider that's obviously caused it. I dread to think how Jake's feeling at the minute.
Yeah.
That all comes into play, as well as obviously the health of those that have been hit by the machines. But hopefully for some good news soon on the Spectator, and obviously news on how we're going to settle this tie.
Do you want to wrap us up for the night, Mush? It's a bit of a sombre end to what was a really good meeting.
So that was Redcar versus Glasgow in the BSN Series Semi Final, which may ultimately end up meaning nothing now. He's been Dylan, I've been Dan. We will see you again on Wednesday. And have a pleasant rest of your Sunday.